Stage 1 engine chill start, and now we're just over 8 minutes away from launch. Again, today's ride to orbit will be about 9 minutes, which is from the time of liftoff to second stage cutoff. And then Dragon in the second stage will continue to coast for a few minutes after that prior to separation. You'll hear some performance calls along the way as we get into the final countdown and then after liftoff. And these are SpaceX flight controllers reporting on trajectory, speed, booster performance, and other key milestones. So some of the callouts you will hear after liftoff are a combination of letters and numbers, which will mark different abort zones throughout the flight up the eastern seaboard. The first two are 1 Alpha and 1 Bravo, which are abort modes available while the first stage is firing. And then the next round of numbers and letters you'll hear are 2 Alpha through 2 Echo, though you'll only hear the 2 Alpha call on the public loops, and those will come into play once the second stage kicks in. And then diverting a little bit from the other naming system, you will hear the call out Shannon, which refers to Shannon, Ireland. And this call means the crew could target off the coast of Ireland if they needed to abort late in the second stage burn. And you'll continue to hear those different call outs along with key performance call outs from the guidance, navigation, and control officer along with the propulsion lead. We're now just under 7 minutes away from launch.
Engines are chilling in for flight.
And we just heard that confirmation that the stage 1 engine chill has started.
Yeah, exactly. That call out is because we are flowing a little bit of liquid oxygen into the engines. That's to help prepare the vehicle or the engines for the full flow of liquid oxygen into the engines. That makes sure that we don't shock the system at that full flow. Now we are still loading. At liftoff, Falcon 9 is consuming about 700 gallons of fuel per second. So engine chill helps us prevent that thermal shock into the engine. So again, we have passed that T-minus 7 minute mark. Next call out will be stage 1, RP1 loading complete, which we just heard that.
And the RP1 is densified kerosene or rocket fuel that will propel the crew into orbit. All of that RP1 is now fully loaded into the rocket, and since we previously heard that second stage loading was completed. We are still loading the liquid oxygen or LOX onto the first and second stages, and this is the oxidizer needed to combine with the densified kerosene that just finished loading. The RP1 liquid propellant needs an oxidizer to combine with in order to ignite. Coming up in just under 30 seconds at that T-minus 5 minute mark, we will hear the call for Dragon to configure for terminal count and then transition over to internal power.
Tanks are pressing for strong back retract.
Dragon is in configure for terminal count.
And there we just heard that call out for terminal count. So now Dragon onboard computers will take control of the spacecraft. And we also heard that the propellant tanks on Falcon 9 are getting ready to pressurize, adding some additional structural support to the rocket as we get ready for that strong back to retract. And that strong back provides access to Falcon 9's fueling lines.
Has started.
That strong back lower has now started, and again, that strong back provides access to Falcon 9's fueling lines and umbilicals for both propellant load and the different gases being loaded on board.
And what you should see on your screen is there's those clamp arms that are around the second stage just below Dragon. They're going to open up, and once they're fully open, then that strong back or the TE can begin to recline away from the vehicle. Now, initially, we are going to recline that TE just about 2 degrees away from the vehicle, and then we will fully move the TE about 45 degrees away up at T0. And they're maybe a little hard to see on your screen, but the clamp arms are opening up there. There's a better view. Looks like the clamp arms are now fully open, so that TE will begin to move away from the vehicle. Very slow and slight, but just enough to get two degrees away from the vehicle.
And then coming up in less than 30 seconds at the T-minus 3-minute mark, the first stage liquid oxygen or LOX load will complete. And we'll continue to check through a couple more fueling milestones, including one around the T-minus 2-minute mark before flight, where we'll hear liquid oxygen loading is complete on the second stage. And now you see all of those white clouds on your screen. Those are clouds of vapor, and they're completely normal, and we'll see them continue to build up as we get closer to launch. This is because liquid oxygen is super chilled, so a little of it will boil off in the warmer Florida air.
Stage 1, LOX load complete.
Great call out there. Stage 1.
Count and on.
Putting liquid oxygen onto stage 2, and that'll wrap up here at the T-minus 2-minute mark, just about 20 seconds from now. And once we finish propellant loading, that will mean that 1 million pounds of RP1 and liquid oxygen will be loaded onto Falcon 9 here, just under 10 seconds.
Stage 2, LOX load complete.
We just heard confirmation that the stage 2 liquid oxygen loading is now complete. We are under 2 minutes away from launch. Gas closeout has also begun. So we're now isolating all of the feed lines for the different gas systems from the Falcon 9 rocket. And those gases will then get vented overboard through umbilicals and the strong back. And you just heard that call out that Dragon is an
Ground gas
aisle.
closeouts, expect loud venting.
Well, you can hear that venting now. Obviously, rockets are very loud, and the sound can impart pressure loads back on the rocket itself. The ton of water absorbs and prevents the sound from hitting the structure and reverberating back onto the rocket. And that call out for auto idle puts the rocket in a state the flight computers understand before it takes over, making sure the transition to final countdown is smooth and all the flight computers on board are in sync and configured for launch.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
And now we just heard that Falcon 9 is in startup.
Dragon is in countdown.
And in the final countdown, less than a minute to go, and at the time of launch, the space station will be flying 260 statute miles over the west coast of Australia.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
And great call out.
SpaceX, Dragon Crew-10, copy, go for launch.
Great call out that we're go for launch, and we do have a large crowd here in front of Mission Control,
T-minus 30 seconds.
waiting to watch Crew-10 take off today.
T-minus 15. T-minus 10. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Go SpaceX, go NASA Crew-10.
Copy, 1 Alpha.
And liftoff at Crew-10, now
Vehicle
soaring to the
pitching down
International
range.
Space Station. 1.7 million pounds of thrust now propelling Falcon 9 and Crew-10. And we're continuing to get good call-outs on the first stage performance so far. We're now 40 seconds into today's flight.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Continuing to get good performance call-outs.
Stage 1 throttle down.
Yeah, we are throttling down the engines in preparation for Max Q. What great timing that was. We just passed through Max Q. That's the largest structural load that the vehicle will see on ascent.
Vehicle supersonic. Stage 1 throttle up.
We're now just over 1 minute and 10 seconds into today's flight, traveling at more than 1,400 miles per hour.
Stage 1 Bravo.
And we just heard that
SpaceX
call out
copies, 1
for
Bravo.
1 Bravo, which means we're in the second and final abort mode for the first stage, continuing to get good performance. and the crew already pulling over 2 Gs. Next up, we'll have a couple of events happening in rapid succession.
Back chill started.
First will be that engine chill on the second stage impact engine, which we just heard. And then we'll have MECO, or main engine cutoff, where the 9 engines on the first stage will cut off ahead of the first and second stages will be separating from one another. Then the single Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will ignite and continue to carry Crew-10 to orbit while the first stage begins its journey back to Earth. Now we're just 2 minutes into today's flight. The vehicle is traveling just under 4,000 miles per hour.
We're just about 20 seconds away from those events that Anna just mentioned. The 9 Merlin engines will shut down here in just about 10 seconds for
Stage 1 throttle
MECO,
down.
stage separation, and SES-1.
Main engine cutoff.
SpaceX Dragon, 2 Alpha.
Stage separation confirmed.
Copy, 2 Alpha.
Great call-outs and incredible views there on your
And
left-hand
recognition.
screen. On your left-hand screen, you can see a view from stage 1. And an extremely excited crowd here in Hawthorne. Awesome views of that boost back burn on the first stage, as well as the MVAC engine igniting on the second stage. Great views there. Now the booster is in its boost back burn. This is the first of 3 burns as it makes its way back down to Earth. This will last about 45 seconds. And the Crew-10 crew is still on board Dragon, attached to Falcon 9 second stage, which you can see there on your right-hand screen.
And we're now at 3 minutes and 20 seconds into today's flight. The vehicle is traveling about 6,500 miles per hour. And they are on their way to the space station. And we did have that confirmation coming up of the boost back shutdown. And then coming up at the T plus 6 minute mark. And there we have our first images of the crew inside the Dragon spacecraft as they make their way into orbit. And the crew
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
continuing to get good call-outs.
SpaceX Dragon, copy nominal.
Stage 2 continues to be on power with in its firing until we get to that second stage engine cutoff around the 9-minute mark of flight. About 5 minutes of flight to go before Dragon will be flying free.
Some cool views there on your left-hand screen. That's the first stage booster as it's making its way back down to Earth. This is a ground tracking camera getting these awesome views.
And on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see that lone Merlin vacuum engine of the second stage. We're continuing to get good performance on the second stage. And the crew's G loads will dip right when we hit the separation events, and it's going to continue to build up until then.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
SpaceX Dragon, copy nominal.
We're now at 5 minutes into today's flight with a liftoff at 7:03 p.m. Pacific, 7:03 p.m. Eastern, 4:03 p.m. Pacific. Continuing to get good call-outs as Stage 1 makes its way back to Earth, and Stage 2 continues to fire, propelling Dragon into orbit.
If you're just now joining us, the 4 members of Crew-10 launched from Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. And they're currently on board Dragon, still attached to Falcon 9 second stage, which you're seeing there on your right-hand screen. On your left-hand screen, the first stage vehicle is making its way back down to Earth. It already completed the first of 3 burns as the boost back burn. And the next event coming up for that vehicle is going to be the entry burn.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
Great call-outs there. That entry burn is coming up.
SpaceX Dragon, copy nominal.
That entry burn is coming up here in just under 20 seconds. We'll reignite 3 of those 9 Merlin 1D engines to help slow the vehicle down as it makes its way back into the Earth's atmosphere.
We're now just over 6 minutes into today's flight as Dragon and the second stage continue traveling at over 12,000 miles per hour, making their way into orbit and on the way to the International Space Station.
There, we just saw on the screen, it was very quick, but we had the entry burn, which we got some cool views of that from the ground, which is awesome. Now, the next event coming up will be the landing burn for the first stage. That's coming up here in about 30 seconds.
Dragon SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
Again, great call-outs for
SpaceX Dragon, copy nominal.
Confirmation there from the crew as they continue to make their way into orbit. Now 7 minutes into today's flight, the first stage making its way back down to Earth and the second stage continuing to fire.
This is an awesome view. Let's see if we can see the center engine relight for that landing burn here in a few seconds. There's that landing burn. Let's watch as Falcon 9 touches down on landing zone 1. And the crowd here is excited to see Falcon 9 touch down on landing zone 1.
And now that the first stage has made its way back to Earth, we're about a minute away from the second engine cutoff, which we're expecting around the 9-minute mark of today's flight. We're continuing to get good call-outs, and Dragon and all of the systems on the vehicle are performing as expected. Just over 8 minutes into today's flight, traveling more than 21,000 miles per hour.
Terminal guidance.
Hearing good call-outs. We're about 30 seconds away from that second engine cutoff, and then shortly after that, about a minute or so later, we will have orbital insertion.
SpaceX Dragon, Shannon.
SpaceX copy, Shannon.
And that call out there for Shannon, and that is the call out for Shannon, Ireland, which is the final abort stage for the second stage off the coast of Ireland. Standing by for a second engine cutoff.
And back shutdown. Dragon SpaceX, nominal orbit insertion.
And there we heard
SpaceX Dragon, copy.
confirmation
Launch
of
escape system disarmed.
good confirmation of orbital insertion. Crew-10 is now well on their way to the International Space Station following a 9.5-minute flight uphill.
Now, the second stage is preparing for Dragon separation here, which should happen shortly, in about 10-15 seconds is what we're expecting. Now we're preparing for stabilizing the second stage so that we can have a smooth separation.
And there you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, the crowd is going wild. There on your screen you can see that Dragon separation, that second stage making its way, and Dragon is now flying
SpaceX
free.
Dragon, copy.
10 minutes into today's flight, that was about a minute after we had that second engine cutoff and orbital insertion. And it looks like a good separation, good rates. Dragon now flying free. There on the right-hand side of your screen, you can see some first images of Crew-10 inside the Dragon Endurance spacecraft as they're now successfully in orbit.
Dragon, SpaceX, Chief Engineer on Countdown 1. On behalf of the entire Falcon team, we thank you for flying with Falcon and wish you a great mission. Over to LD.
It was an honor flying with you this evening. We wish you well on your journey and give Crew 9 our best. Thank you for flying SpaceX.
SpaceX Dragon, this is Crew-10 Commander Ann McClain. Thank you to all of the teams from across the world who contributed to the launch today. Spaceflight is tough, but humans are tougher. Days like today are made possible only when people choose to do the harder right over the easier wrong. Build relationships, choose cooperation, and believe in the inherent goodness of all people across the world. To my family and friends, without you, I would not be here. Explore boldly, live gracefully, go Crew-10. Now over to pilot Nicole Ayers.
Pilot Nicole Ayers again. We're not the first humans to get to orbit, and we wouldn't be here without the bravery and hard work of those who have paved the way for human spaceflight. We now get the unique perspective of Earth without borders and get to revel in the connectedness of humanity. I would be remiss to not once again acknowledge those who helped me get here to this wonderful view and this perspective, to the teachers, coaches, fellow officers, fellow teammates, Raptor Nation, to my friends and family that encouraged my dreams from the start. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you.
This is Mission Specialist Takuya Onishi. I want to say a huge thank you to NASA and SpaceX, especially the Falcon 9 team for the successful launch, and we are looking forward to a smooth ride to the International Space Station. 日本の皆さん、たくさんの応援ありがとうございます。9年ぶりの無重力の感覚をかみしめてます。これから先の ISS への宇宙の旅、楽しんでいきたいと思います。I will now hand the mic over to Mission Specialist Kirill.
Thanks a lot to NASA and SpaceX for this wonderful ride, and I want to say a couple of words in Russian. Пользуясь такой чудесной возможностью, хочу поздравить с 65-летием со дня начала подготовки первого отряда. И также хочу сказать спасибо большое за те знания и жизненный опыт, который мной были получены в всех стенах для того, чтобы выполнить этот полет. А также спасибо школе номер 14 города Назарова, Ульяновскому высшему авиационному училищу гражданской авиации и авиакомпании МКАР и Нордвин, где я начинал свой путь в небо. И, конечно же, спасибо большое семье и за поддержку.
Thank you, Crew-10. At this time, I can report nominal dehumidifier activation and service section Draco checkouts.
SpaceX Dragon, copy.
So they made it today. Good. Very good. On Tuesday they tried to launch. They had to call it off because the arms that grasped the rocket wouldn't let go rocket, so they couldn't blast off. That was on Tuesday. But they did it perfectly today, it looks like. Very cool.
And such great words from Crew-10 as well as the core here in Hawthorne and Mission Control. We also got confirmation that the nose cone deploy is underway. The 6 hooks that hold the nose cone in place during the launch and ascent portions have to retract, and then the nose cone will be able to start to swing open and deploy. Now, this uncovers a number of critical systems for the flight up to the space station, including the forward bulkhead thrusters and the docking hatch. Just pausing in case there were going to be any comms. And we did have good confirmation, good checkouts of the 12 Draco thrusters around the service section. Now, four to go after we get the nose cone open, and then the ECLIS, the environmental control and life support system, activated inside of Dragon. Now, soon the crew will be able to get their visors open and get out of their suits and settle in for the ride to the space station.
And now we're just waiting for confirmation that the nose cone has fully deployed with all of the hooks open. But just to recap a little bit, we did have a successful liftoff of Crew-10 about 18 minutes ago at 7:03 p.m. Eastern, 4:03 p.m. Pacific. And following an approximately 9-minute ride after liftoff, we had that orbital insertion, and Dragon and Crew-10 were flying free and well on their way to the International Space Station. They now have approximately a 28-hour journey before they do reach their destination of the space station, and that docking is targeted for tomorrow, March 15th at 8:30 p.m. Pacific, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, to the forward-facing port of the station's Harmony module. Between now and then, Dragon will perform a series of burns as it catches up to the space station, and that first burn will be a phase burn about 30 minutes from now at 4:52 p.m. Pacific, 7:52 p.m. Eastern.
And the nose cone is about 75% open at this point. Human spaceflight has come so far in the last 5 years with Dragon. In addition to flying people, SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft also enables researchers the opportunity to fly critical science to orbit. And so far, SpaceX and Dragon have carried over 1,000 research experiments to and from low Earth orbit, both to the International Space Station and on our free flyer missions. From DNA sequencing to 3D printing studies enabled by Dragon and the space station test Dragon and the space station test a variety of technologies, systems, and materials that will be needed for future long-duration exploration missions. Now, every mission yields critical science and research and learnings that help make life both on Earth and in space better. And flights like today's help us continue to lay this foundation for our future among the stars and continue our mission to make life multiplanetary.
Once Crew-10 does arrive to the International Space Station, they will, of course, partake in some additional science and research. They will have over 200 experiments that they will contribute to during their time aboard the International Space Station. Again, we're just standing by for confirmation that that nose cone has fully deployed. And we may also get some additional look inside the cabin of the crew.
As we patiently wait for those views, we are trying to see if we can get some views. We were seeing some views from the second stage. This looks like it might be a view from the forward.
Dragon SpaceX, nominal nose cone opening and forward bulkhead Draco checkouts.
SpaceX Dragon copies and confirm nominal ECLIS activation and go for visors.
There we heard confirmation that the nose cone has fully deployed and that the crew is now able to lift their visors. And there, again, we're seeing some views inside the Dragon Endurance spacecraft with Crew-10 on their way to the International Space Station.
Affirm, you are go to open visors.
Copy.
Great calls there. They're go to open visors, which means that shortly they'll also be able to get out of their suits and get comfortable for the entire ride on Dragon to the International Space Station.
And from left to right on your screen, there's Roscosmos cosmonaut Kirill Peskov, NASA astronaut Nicole Ayers, NASA astronaut Ian McLean, and then far on the right-hand side of your screen is JAXA astronaut Takuya Onishi.
And there you could see that they are in microgravity as their tablets are floating around there. They do have them attached to a little string that helps allow them so that, you know, as they're strapped into their seats, they don't lose their tablets.
We're now just over 20 minutes into today's flight following that successful liftoff at 7:03 p.m. Eastern, 4:03 p.m. Pacific. There you're getting an over-the-shoulder view between the commander and pilot, so Ian McLean and Nicole Ayers.
If you're just now joining us, you are watching live Crew-10 out in space in the Dragon vehicle. They lifted off from Space Launch Complex 39A at 7:03 p.m. Eastern Time.
Dragon SpaceX, there are about 3 minutes remaining in the current ground station pass. At this time, you're welcome to introduce your zero-G indicator. We're using the full crew cam so we can see all 4 crew members right now.
All right, copies. Thank you, SpaceX. We'd like to introduce the Crew-10 G indicator. Takuya is holding him up. This is a hand crochet origami crane. The Japanese origami, hand crocheted in the United States, and his name is Drug, which is the Russian name for friend. Origami is the Japanese art of folding paper. This is a nod to the unique and deep cultural traditions from which each of us come. While we're from different parts of the world, we are brought together in this bold endeavor, and we represent all of humanity. The folded paper design was also chosen to represent paper airplanes that we made when we were kids, before we were astronauts, when all we had was a dream. And we looked up at the sky and we wondered, what if? It's a symbol that every big accomplishment starts with a quiet dream, and that dreams do come true when you believe in yourself and you listen only to those who believe in you. Crew-10 believes in all of the dreamers. The flag and the number markings on the crane, there's a number 10 on each of its wings and a flag from each one of our countries on the tail. This is a nod to each of our shared experiences as professional pilots. These patches are arranged to look like an airplane. This is a source of deep pride for our crew, because what pilot doesn't like to talk about the fact that they're a pilot? But this also symbolizes our shared culture as astronauts. In the years of training together, we found we have far more in common than we do different. Our zero-G indicator was handmade by a small business owner in the United States. This represents all the hands which created our entire space program, and this rocket and this capsule that we're flying today. It also represents all of the artists and musicians who inspire people to imagine beyond what they can see. Spaceflight is perhaps the most complex endeavor of our time, but it was built one step at a time, by one person at a time. Finally, the origami crane is the international symbol for peace, hope, and healing. Crew-10 hopes to serve as a beacon of hope, a reminder of what humans can accomplish when we see the goodness in one another and we choose to work together toward a common goal. Today, we are united not through common enemy, but through shared optimism and a basic belief in the goodness of humanity. It is far easier to be enemies than it is to be friends. It's easier to break partnerships and relationships than it is to build them. Spaceflight is hard, and success depends on leaders of character who choose the harder right over the easier wrong, and who build programs, partnerships, and relationships. We explore for the benefit of all. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, then go together. Crew-10 chooses to go together in peace, because you cannot be great without the greatness of others. Go NASA, go Roscosmos, go JAXA, and go Crew-10.
Dragon SpaceX, we really appreciate those words, Ann. Thanks for introducing.
From NASA astronaut and the Crew-10 commander, Ann McClain. And again, Crew-10 comprised of McClain along with NASA astronaut Nicole Ayers and JAXA astronaut Takuya Onishi along with Roscosmos cosmonaut Kirill Peskov are now safely in orbit following an approximately 9-minute ride after a liftoff at 4:03 p.m. Pacific, 7:03 p.m. Eastern from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The crew now has an approximately 28-hour journey ahead of them before they reach their destination, the International Space Station. Again, docking is targeted for tomorrow, March 15th at 8:30 p.m. Pacific, 11:30 p.m. Eastern to the forward-facing port of the station's Harmony module. Between now and then, Dragon will perform a series of burns to catch up with the space station, and that first burn will be taking place around 4:52 p.m. Pacific, 7:52 p.m. Eastern today.
And those were some great words about the zero-G indicator. Very incredible. Human spaceflight has come so far in the last 5 years with Dragon. In addition to flying people, SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft also enables researchers the opportunity to fly critical science to orbit. Now, so far, SpaceX and Dragon have carried over 1,000 research experiments to and from low Earth orbit, both to the International Space Station and on our free flyer missions. From DNA sequencing to 3D printing, studies enabled by Dragon and the space station test a variety of technologies, systems, and materials that will be needed for future long-duration exploration missions. Every mission yields critical research and learnings that help make life both on Earth and in space better. And flights like today's help us continue to lay the foundation for our future among the stars and continue our mission to make life multiplanetary. Now, we'll be signing off from SpaceX for now, so we're going to send it back to NASA. But before we go, we want to thank NASA for entrusting us with today's mission, and thank you all for being here with us today.
And with that, we're going to end our coverage from Hawthorne until we pick back up with our docking coverage in about 26 hours at 6:45 p.m. Pacific, 9:45 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, March 15th, for that targeted docking to the International Space Station at 8:30 p.m. Pacific, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. So for now, thank you for joining us, and back over to you, Jessica and Daryl at the Kennedy Space Center to wrap up today's coverage.
And welcome back to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, where we just watched Crew-10 lift off from Launch Pad 39A. The crew is now en route to the International Space Station. I'm Daryl Nail. This is NASA astronaut Jessica Meir, who just watched one of her close friends and many friends, Crew-10, go up into space. And I'm wondering what that moment was like for you.
Well, I will tell you, it is a moment that you never forget. I am so excited right now sitting here thinking especially of Nicole and Kirill, because that first time experiencing prolonged weightlessness is something that they will never forget, and they will be talking about it for years and years for the rest of their lives, just like I recounted my stories here tonight. Those words were all so inspirational as well. I love how they unveiled their droog, their origami crane. It really hit on so many important themes tonight, talking about this Japanese art of folding paper, really combining all of the cultures of their crew, the name being a Russian name meaning friend, the origami crane for Japanese culture, all of the flags on the crane handmade by a small business in the U.S. It really highlights so many important elements that I know are so important to the crew and to all of us at NASA and all of the space agencies. Ideally, really in summary, highlighting the representation of peace, of hope, and of healing, and that we are all truly stronger when we work together. So thank you, Anne. Thank you, Crew-10, for those incredible words. I think that there's a lesson there for all of us tonight. We are exploring for the benefit of all.
And Crew-10 believes in all dreamers. Thank you for highlighting the words of Commander Anne McLean as well. Crew-10 will become part of Expedition 73, briefly with 72.
Okay. All right. They made it. Yesterday they didn't make it. Yesterday they went as I said before, yesterday they went up. They didn't blast off, or not yesterday, Tuesday I think it was. They tried to blast off and they couldn't because the arms that hold the rocket were not letting go of the rocket. Hang on a second. I don't know if my I need to check to see if my mic is in sync or not. Let me do a sync test here. 1, 2, 3, test. I'm monitoring it in the other room. Let me try one more time here. All right, sync test. 1, 2, 3. All right, that looks good. I don't know. I think it's in sync. I think. I'm not sure. All right, so that was pretty fun watching them blast off, and it seemed to go perfectly today. So that's good. Yeah, yesterday Tuesday I watched the thing for a long time, and they went really almost like just a few minutes before the launch, and they scrubbed it because they have those hydraulic arms around the rocket, and apparently they wouldn't let go of the rocket. They wouldn't let it go. Those poor hydraulic arms didn't want the rocket to go, so they couldn't blast off. But they fixed it. So I don't know if you could see down in the bottom corner, where it was right about here, where they had the speed and the altitude. That was in kilometers. The altitude was in kilometers, and the speed was kilometers per hour. So I'm broadcasting at 7:20 here, so I'm not sure if that showed up on this thing or not. But that's what it said. And you notice when they shut the engine off, it was going over 2,800 or 28,000 kilometers per hour, and it was about I think it was 189 kilometers up, and they shut off the engines, and then you watched it as it was coasting. The altitude or the speed was slowly inching down. It was about 28,000, and then it went to 27,999, and it went down just slowly. And as that was happening, the altitude was slowly going up. So that's what they put it into an orbit, so that it's slowly gaining altitude, so they can catch up, get up to the space station. I wonder what the space station's at. Let me see if I can find that here, and see exactly what the I'm going to try to see if I can find out exactly what the altitude of the space station is now, because that would be interesting to know. Let me type it into Google here. Here, I'll show you. I think it's safe to do Google here. Space station. All right, let's see. ISS. Where is the ISS now? Let's see what it says. Current position of ISS. Okay. Live space station tracking. Yeah, that's from NASA, so that's probably okay. Let's see. I don't know if they give the altitude here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Speed 27,601. So it's higher up than those guys, obviously. Altitude, yeah, 413 kilometers. So they're way below it, right? So the space station's way up here, and they blasted off, and they got into orbit down here at about 1,000 miles, or no, about 400 kilometers per hour faster than the space station. So the space station is ahead of them and higher up, and they're going faster. And so what they're doing is they're trading, on the trajectory they're on, they're trading speed for altitude, and they're gaining altitude, and catching up, and you know, that's what they're trying to do. And then they have some, you know, to get it precisely, they got to get the, you know, they want to get it exactly right, so they got little boosters kind of just over as they're going up, trying to catch up to them. So where's the space station right now? Oh, it's right down there. Just about over Mexico right now. So it'll be going over us, or over, well, let's see. I'm in over here in New Hampshire. So it'll be over, yeah, it'll be over where I'm at. Actually pretty quick. Just a few minutes there, it looks like. Maybe I'll go out and look at that, or stick the, I can stick the camera out, my webcam, and see if we can see it. Let's see if if they have a way to space station search cruise. No, I don't have it here. No, they're not. They don't show the Dragon, the Crew-10, where that's at. It's nighttime. All right. Huh. That's cool. Yeah, I should be able to go out there and look at that then. You know, when it's gets overhead, because it looked like it was going right over where I'm at here in New Hampshire. So that's pretty cool. It's an hour and a half, so it's only a few minutes. I wonder if I should try to do that. Stick the camera out there and see if we can see it. It's kind of hard to. I could open that window and stick it outside and point it up. I don't know if you can see stars with this thing or not. That'd be fun though, just to do that. Let's see if we could see it. So that was a rocket launch. I wanted to cover that, you know, because it's just cool. They did it perfectly this time. There was another thing that I wanted to do to talk about. That was the Lunar Lander. Remember I played that Lunar Lander game, and I played it and I broke it when I was playing it. I went way up in the, you know, real high altitude, and then I turned upside down, and I fired the rocket down and just shot it straight down into the moon, you know, ballistic like, and it broke the game. And apparently the guy fixed it because I went back to it again. In fact, right away he fixed it because I went back the next day and and played it, and it was fixed. So I'll play it again here. I'll show you how it was fixed. Let's see here. Now, I'm gonna turn the audio down because it's kind of a little irritating. Oh wait, we've got double voice here now. Let me just turn it all the way down. Can you hear that? Can you hear my, yeah, you can hear the audio, okay. So maybe I'll just shut up when I'm playing it here. I'll play it and you can hear the noises. I'll play the noises once here. It's actually pretty hard to play. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Oh, damn. So they got to come in. They got to when you start the game, it's just falling at a pretty good clip. How fast was it going? Yeah, it's falling at about 50 miles per hour. Just to start out with. It's not easy. Get one man in here. It never runs out of fuel, which is nice. Just a chance to. I got to do at least one man in here. Let me see here. Damn, this is hard. This is hard. Damn it. Damn it. I was hitting full throttle. I mean, they had to come in so fast. It's so fast. This is really hard. This is really hard to do. Man, that was a long ways to go. I'll try to land in this little bigger launch pad, or landing pad here. Criminy. Oh, I was right in there. I was going just a little too fast. Man, they really made it much harder because it's coming down. Damn. They also added meteors, which I don't remember being in there before. So if everything's going just perfectly, you get hit by a meteor and crash that way. So it's a lot harder. I was trying to play earlier today. I think it's been harder than it was today for some reason. I almost was the wrong one. Finally. Yeah, all right. So let me try to demonstrate what I did to break it. I can get it to go. So now I'm going up. In the altitude. You can't see the altitude. See that? Okay. So I'm at 25,000 feet. So what I did is I got really high like this, and I flipped it around. And then went full straight down, full throttle, all the way down. So now it's going down. The cat sound, I don't understand what that's about. It's part of the game. Boom. Okay, so it registered. When I did that the other day, it messed up. So the guy fixed it. So that's pretty cool. I learned something else that I can do with this. If I can get it going. up. Eventually, it takes you out with meteor. If you try to go up, if you get up like a couple 100,000 feet, it just go ahead. This meteor will take you out. But what I figured out is if you go way up there. But if you get way up there, and then you start spinning around, there aren't as many years. Actually, there aren't too many years right now. Yeah, come on, Since the Lunar Lander is not supposed to do this, it's 100,000 feet. Maybe they have that built in as a safety thing. Like if they were trying to land and you couldn't land, you had to escape. Right, so it's 140,000. I'll get into the almost 300,000 feet. So now if I just start spinning it, it sends off these things. I don't understand what it is, but if I just keep that thruster on, it spins faster and faster and faster. Look, I'm at 150 flips now. I get 2.3 flips, 200 flips. It just keeps going faster and faster. 200 flips. That's almost 400,000 feet. And I just noticed when I do this, there aren't any meteors. And I think what's going on is that there's so much, so many things going on, it doesn't have enough CPU, my CPU doesn't have enough capacity to do the meteors. So as long as I keep flipping like that, it doesn't send any more meteors. 500,000. We're gonna start the full flipping it at I don't know how many RPM, plus hold the thruster on it. Somehow it's just kind of pulling. That was fun. Really good break it again. A lot harder to break. Alright. So that was fun. Lunar Lander. Yeah, it's funny. Most of the IRL real Lunar Landers have really been messing up. Oops, there we go. Boom. Alright, it looks like it's going a lot better now. Whoa. Oh, those meteors didn't hit me. Which is kind of interesting. Should I try to see if I can get it to go into orbit? That'd be fun. Oh, come on. I guess I was going a little bit too fast. I'm going to see if I can get it to go into orbit. Well, that didn't get into orbit. Almost. Let's get out of the way. That shouldn't even be there. So I'm just giving it full throttle and just going straight up for now. This will be kind of like a rocket launch, right? You just go straight up. And actually, you know, when you're taking off from the moon, you don't have to do that. That's straight up, you know. When you're blasting off from the Earth, they go straight up first and get some altitude, and then start going sideways, you know. And they do that to get into thinner air, so they don't have as much air resistance. You want to get out of the atmosphere as quickly as possible. You know, the heaviest part of the atmosphere. But on the moon, you wouldn't have to do that. You could just, you know, just take off like that or whatever. Okay, here we go. Oops. So I'll try to get some altitude here. I don't know what orbit, you know, how fast I'd have to go or whatever for moon orbit. Maybe I should have looked that up first. But I think you have to get like, you know, like 30, 40 miles up, I think, at least, right? To do an orbit on the moon. Okay, so we're about 50 miles up, I guess, now. Close to it, 40, 50 miles. 250,000 feet. Now we're 300,000 feet. And it keeps gaining speed. It's 2,300 miles an hour. I don't think that's fast enough to orbit. Okay, so we're almost 100 miles up. So now I'll start going sideways a little bit and see if I can get it to go into orbit. I mean, if it's modeled after, oh shoot, I can't. If it's using physics, right? You know, then it should work, right? You know, because they're adding so much altitude, you know, so much altitude, so much speed, and there's a gravity factor that they've got to have in the program. So maybe it'll go into orbit. Let's see here. All right, so I'm just coasting right now. Okay, there we go. Now give it a little bit of thrust here. Got to get the attitude right here. Whoops. Okay. All right, so we're 900,000 feet about. That's a couple hundred miles, isn't it? Calculator. All right, so it's 2,500 feet. I mean, 20, almost 2,600 miles per hour. I don't think that's fast enough to orbit the moon. Well, if it's 1/6 the gravity, then maybe would the speed be 1/6? Orbital velocity be 1/6? I think it's. I don't know what the formula is. I'm over 1 million feet up. I'm going 3,000 miles per hour. Okay, 3,300 miles per hour. I could do a Google search and see if Google does how fast the orbit is. How fast you have to go to orbit the moon. But it seems like I'm up in orbit now, right? 3,000. Let me take all the power off and just see what it does. Meanwhile, I'll come over here and search for velocity to orbit moon. To achieve a low circular orbit around the moon, a spacecraft needs to travel at approximately 3,600 miles per hour. Okay. 3,600 miles per hour. And what's the... what's the altitude? Doesn't say. Velocity is needed to orbit the moon. With escape velocity to the moon. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Oh, our orientation is messed up a little bit here. Let's get spun around here. I think we're in orbit, right? I don't know. No, it's, okay, the altitude's coming down, so I need to give it a little bit more here. Yeah, it might not take into account the you know, this centripetal force on the thing for orbits. I mean, I'm going 4,000 miles per hour now. That's way over orbital velocity, and I'm way up there. So I don't think it will do orbits. If I think what it's you know, if the nose is pointing up a little bit, then it's just using a vector to figure out how much to move up or sideways, I think is what it's doing. It's still showing my altitude coming down, even though my speed keeps going up. Which I guess that kind of makes sense. Okay, now it's disappeared. Where'd it go? It's gonna wrap around. Oh man, wow. Okay, there we go. It's going, what's happening here is it's going at such a fast horizontal speed that it's skipping frames, you know what I mean? It's off to the side here. Yeah, I don't know where it went now. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me try to slow down a little bit. All right, I'm going to slow down my horizontal speed a little bit. There we go. Okay. So I don't think it does orbits. Doesn't appear to be able to do orbits. So now I'm firing my retro rockets. Let's see if I can bring it down. I don't know. That would be cool though if you could get it to go into orbit. Alright, so we're 7. I'm slowing down a little bit. I'm trying to slow down my horizontal motion too. I don't know if that's going to work. It might be beyond repair here. I might have broke it again. Let's see. I'll just keep firing that rocket there. Oh no, it looks like it's slowing down horizontally a little bit. I gotta get my vertical speed down. Wow. So it's a half a million miles now. I'm 500,000 feet. Still losing altitude. It still thinks it's going down. Even though I'm firing this rocket for all this time, it's still coming down. It's not, it's not slowing down the descent. Oh man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to recover from this one. Let's see here. Oh, it is. It's slowing down the horizontal. Look at that. And my velocity is slowing way down. See that? Look at that. Very cool. Oh, now the velocity is going back up again. I want to first try to get my horizontal. Okay, so horizontal velocity, I'm slowing down now. Look at this. Oh, this is cool. Wow. My altitude's still coming down. Okay. Now, I don't know why it threw out that. All right, so I'm just coming down right now. It's just falling. 300,000 feet. God, that'd be something if I could land after all this. A lot of pressure on that landing. Let's see here. Or I might be taken out by a meteor. That could happen too. Altitude here quickly. Avoid those. Those asteroids or the meteors or whatever fall so fast. There's no way to really avoid them. It's just kind of a luck thing if you get hit by them. Oh, look at this. Okay, so I'm falling here. If I can keep my rate of descent here around 100 miles an hour. Whoa. I'm just barely missing those things. It's amazing that I haven't been hit yet. Alright, let's see here. Okay, I'm going too fast here. I'm just doing a couple hundred miles an hour now. Oh my goodness. Well, I know I can get down to 0 pretty quickly there, just by firing that rocket, right? Oh, jeez, I almost got hit there. Oh, man. So if I just... check something here real quick. Oh, that's it. I got taken out by a meteor. And it only gave me 194. So I got a maximum height of 1,193,000 feet. 1,194,000 feet. That was my flight time was 1,440 seconds. I don't know how many minutes that is. Way too long. 2 flips. I think I did more than 2 flips. I don't know. Maximum speed was 4,800, almost 4,900 miles per hour. Huh. That's funny. Yeah, it's funny that they did make it miles per hour and feet. I guess that's for American audience, you know, instead of like kilometers per hour. Well, that was interesting. If I wouldn't have gotten taken out by that meteor, I think I could have made it all the way back down without too much trouble, because I was able to slow down, you know, and stuff. So that was pretty interesting. All right, so that's that thing. So, wait, addictive little game. So there was some I wanted to. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the Lunar Landers. Oh, I missed the space station while I was playing the game. It's over here now, so it came by. Yeah. Okay, I might be able to see. Yeah, it came right over the top too. I should have went out there and looked at that. I bet I could have seen it. So, yeah, that orbit there might be a little too hard. That's way up in Canada, I think. Actually, no, wait. There's either one of those orbits, I would be able to see it. So another hour, I could see it again. All right. Anyway, so I wanted to look and see on these lunar landers, the actual real life lunar landers. The one that worked was right here. Let me just Lunar Lander. Let's see. Touchdown. Let's see here. Talk about crude. Okay, let me look up. I'm gonna look up on Wikipedia here for a list of lunar landers, which is a page that I went to before. Landers, I think is what it was. List of lunar probes. Maybe that was it. Yeah, that's it, I think. No, this isn't it. Man. List of missions to the moon. Maybe that's it. No. Okay, I think this is it. I think this has it. Yeah, this is it. So let me bring this up. You see that? All right. So 2004, 225. Okay, here it is. Got one en route. Missions to the moon. Success. January. Okay, so yeah, they're saying the Japanese one was a success, but it fell over. I don't know. Maybe that's another one. Let's see here. One that they just did. Yeah, Intuitive Machines is the one that fell over. That didn't do too well. It tried to land, and I guess it was doing too much horizontal. You know, whatever it was using to sense what its horizontal was not working or something, and it was going too fast horizontal, and when it hit the ground, it fell over and slid. So that one didn't make it. Why don't they have that one? Huh. Do one more thing here. Huh. Yeah, I don't know why they don't have the they've got the Intuitive Machines here, but they don't have the Blue Ghost on here anywhere. Alright, I guess I just have to go to that manually. Yeah. Okay, so this is the one that fell over. March 13th, so that was yesterday. The same thing. The altimeter had failed during landing, leaving its onboard computer without an accurate altitude reading. As a result, the spacecraft struck a plateau, tipped over, and skidded across the lunar surface. Yeah. Rolling once or twice before settling inside a crater. So that was a spectacular. That's like my landings with Lunar Lander. That's what's going on with that one. So that was a spectacular landing there. All right, let me go to Blue Ghost. Find that one. Okay. Oh wait, let me make sure we don't have any. Well, they don't have any pictures of it though. But this is the one that was successful. This one here, Blue Ghost, landed on March 2nd. That thing has a drill. It's drilling. It's been drilling into the lunar surface and just doing all kinds of stuff. It's got like dozens of different science payloads on it. Yeah, here it is. Look at all these different things that it does. The payloads. It's testing the surface and just all kinds of X-rays and just everything you can think of. It's got one of those retro reflectors on it for you know, testing accurate distance to the moon, and but they don't have any pictures here, so I gotta find somewhere that that has that. Let's see, Blue Ghost. You want to see my search results for Blue Ghost? This is my search results. Search results for Blue Ghost. Very good, huh? All right. Let's see here. Okay, this is Firefly's stuff. Let's see what this is. Okay, that wasn't. Let me see if I can find one where they. Oh, no. 3 hours ago, 7 days ago. $12 days ago. Oh, they don't have it in here. I saw somewhere somebody was showing a footage of them drilling into the moon's surface, but they don't have it up on YouTube. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to get a picture of that here. No. All right, let's go to their website. Maybe they got it here. Oh, here we go. News. Maybe they got it here. News. No, I don't see it here. Yeah, it was really cool. They had a picture of them actually drilling into the lunar surface, you know, with their drill and all that, which was kind of cool. Blue Ghost. Let's see what they get here. Okay. So here's their Blue Ghost. We're talking about the Blue Ghost. Fly to the moon. Yeah, but I don't see where they've got. Oh, gallery. Here we go. Gallery. Maybe they've got something here. No. I guess they're too busy working on the moon to update their website with the pictures. I don't know. Let's see, latest news. March 14th, live updates. Oh, maybe this has it. Surface operations. Here we go. All right. First solar eclipse image. Oh yeah, this was very cool. Yeah, last night we had the lunar eclipse, right? On Earth, right? I'm sure you saw it, right? There was a lunar eclipse. I was going to stream it, but I couldn't. My webcam wouldn't do. I mean, you could see it, but there were much better images out there, so I didn't bother doing it. But what they did is they pointed one of the cameras at the sun when there was the lunar eclipse. But from the moon's perspective, it's a solar eclipse. The Earth is eclipsing the sun. So that was pretty cool. Solar eclipse. There it is. Now that would be fun to have video that, huh? A video of a solar or a lunar eclipse, but from the moon. It would be a solar eclipse from the moon. Landing footage. Oh, here we go. Here's the landing. Look at that. That's it. Wow. Very cool. If I could just find the one where they do. Oh, here it is. Here's the one with the drill. Okay. Are they going to show that? Yeah, here it is. Look at that. They're drilling into the moon. Oh my goodness. And that test that they were doing with that drill was to try to figure out how warm the moon is. You know, how the thermal, you know, any big, you know, a moon or planet or anything, it's warm on the inside because of the you know, the gravity consolidation of all the materials pushing and making pressure. The pressure makes heat on the inside, and they were trying to, that test, at least one of the things they were trying to do was to take temperatures at different depths to get a feel for how warm it is on the moon and how much that heat, you know, the gradient, you know, through the up to the surface of the moon and stuff. So that was kind of cool. And that would be something that they would need to do, right? I mean, to understand, because especially if they're going to be mining the moon for any material, or, you know, or building, you know, underground shelters maybe or something, or you know, who knows, you know. And that would be something they would need to know, right? How hot it is underneath the moon. So that's kind of cool. All right, so let me, something I need to do here. I was running late. I didn't get my thing set up right here, so I haven't been able to look at chat while I've been streaming, but now I just set it back up again. Okay, it's still there. Okay. All right, chat is still there. I don't know where it went, the whole thing now. All right, so let me wrap this thing up here. Oh, I've got 2 people watching. Oh no, that's me. It's me watching my own thing. I think that's what that is. All right, so let me try a new command that I just made up. Be sure to follow Double Tribble here on Twitch at Double Tribble. Twitch.tv/doubletribble. And then follow. I'm also on YouTube at doubletribble-yt. Doubletribble-yt. I should make a little thing here. Let me do that. Let me make a little thing for let's see, closing, news, capture, splitters. No, I don't want to do that one. I guess I can't. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Okay, I know what I can do. All right, what I'll do is I'm going to type in my my thing at YouTube. YouTube double triple dash YT. Let's see if I can make that show up. There we go. Look at that. YouTube double triple dash YT. Okay. But it's at youtube.com, of course. So that's not. Yeah, I guess I can't fix that. Let me see if I can fix that and make it say something else. I should probably change the color too, huh? Maybe. Was that easy to see? That was kind of hard to see, wasn't it? I think that was hard to see. Let's see, youtube.com/double-triple. I think that's what it is. Oh, it's at. Okay, there's an at in there. There we go. Can you see that? Oh, that's. Yeah, you can see that, right? Scoot it over and put it right in the middle. There we go. I wonder if there's a way I can make that scroll. I could probably make it scroll somehow. I think does OBS have a scroll? Maybe it doesn't. I think I tried to do that before and I wasn't able to do it. Oh, and then I got to put my other YouTube one in there because I have videos on YouTube. So that would be youtube.com/@KXQE. Let's see, is that going to center? You don't have a way to center it. How can you not have a way to center it? Normal. Well, I'll be damned. It doesn't have a way to center the font. Okay, well, there we go. It's kind of hard to see though. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit. Okay, we've got font color. Here we go. Select color. We go red. Oh, look at that. All right, so that's something screwed up here. It's trying to do a. Oh, I see. It's got a second color in there. I don't want that. It still doesn't look too good. Guess there's no way to get rid of the second color. I guess I got to come down here and give it an actual color. Yeah, that's oh my god. Let's see if that works. That looks okay. Okay. It should be bolder, shouldn't it? Is there a way to make this bold? Font. Normal, italic, oblique, but I don't see bold. They've got strikeout, they've got underline, they've got normal, italic, but they don't have bold. Why would they do that? Oh, here we go. All right, let's try that one. Does that work? There we go. Okay, so now I got to adjust it a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now I should put my Twitch one on here too, because if somebody, this gets recorded and then it gets put up to YouTube. So if somebody's watching the video up on YouTube, they're gonna want to know how to get me on Twitch, right? So I gotta say Twitch on here. Let's put that in here. Twitch. And what's my Twitch? Twitch.tv / double dribble. Whoops. Alright. Did that work? Okay, there we go. Alright, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Kind of hard to read, but that's good enough. A little bit higher. There we go. And I can just do this, right? And then you can see it. Alright. Just shut my cam off. Maybe I can do that here. What if I just shut this off? Yeah, that worked. Okay, so follow me on Twitch and on YouTube and all over the place. Because of this compelling content. You can't get content like this everywhere. Alright, thanks for watching. I think I'm going to wrap it up. There we go. Yes, this is my stream. It's a metaphor for the stream. Alright. Alright. Oh, I gotta tell everybody wear their mask. Everybody wear your mask. N95. You gotta wear your N95 mask whenever you're in public. Because we're in the middle of a pandemic. 2 pandemics, in fact. We've got a flu pandemic and a COVID-19 pandemic going on right now. So you gotta wear a mask. It's gotta say N95 on it. It's got to say NIOSH on it, N-I-O-S-H, N-I-O-S-H, and N95. And just to make sure, it has to have straps that go all the way around the back of your head. The straps that go over your ears. If it has straps that go behind your ears, then it's not an N95, and it might not protect you as well. And make sure when you wear it, make sure it makes a seal all the way around. Make sure it doesn't leak anywhere around. And use these these little metal tabs on top to adjust it to your nose so it doesn't leak through your, around your nose and all that kind of stuff. And you need to wear it whenever you're around other people in public, places and stuff like that. Whenever you're around other people. And it's not just to protect you, but it's to protect other people. If you get infected, you can spread it to other people without even knowing it, And you might kill somebody. You don't want to kill somebody, do you? So wear your mask whenever you're in public, because over a couple hundred people a day are dying from flu and COVID. So take care out there. All right, everybody. I think we're done now. See you later.